7:01, I'll call a common council meeting to order. Could we have roll call, please?
Denkert,
Here.
Gallops,
Here.
Gatsky, Iverson,
Here.
Reimer,
Here.
Schatzinger,
Here.
Sorenson,
Here.
Splitt,
Here.
and Grant.
Here.
Okay, we have actually 7 present.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Psalm 83, verse 1. O God, do not keep silence. Do not hold your peace or be still, O God. And we pray. Almighty, gracious, and eternal God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather as your people. Send your Holy Spirit now to this place to guide all in leadership positions, all citizens, all visitors, that we may accomplish your will to care for your people and your world. We pray in the name of your Son. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda, Mayor.
I'll second. Go ahead.
I have a motion by Doug, a second by David. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. And no one has signed up for public comment. So moving on to accepting informal reports from standing committees and staff. Is there a motion to approve the list as published?
I'll make a motion to approve as published.
I'll second.
A motion by Mark, second by John. Any discussion? Doug?
A couple questions on the financial report. I see on the first page, Green Lake Animal Shelter is for $10,000. I was wondering if you can elaborate on that for the general public.
So the Green Lake Area Animal Shelter is the shelter that the city utilizes for stray animals, dogs and cats. So we have an annual bill that they bill us. But what happened was some transition within the Green Lake Area Animal Shelter. 25's payment was never submitted, or invoice was never submitted to the city. So it's $5,000 a year. So we paid them for 25 and 26. So we have an arrangement with them when our officers, or there's a stray, we take them there and they are our shelter. We used to have our own pound and pay like a part-time person to be a dog catcher. We have suspended that and decommissioned the shelter, and we use Green Lake Area Animal Shelter, and it has proven to be a valuable partnership for the city.
Okay, I have another question on financial report. It says page 21. City of Appleton at the top for,
Weights and measures?
is that what, okay. And then Big Cities Furniture Outlet for $198.
Rugs downstairs for EMS.
Okay, and then bottom of the page, Pin Care for $35.15.65.
That'll be an EMS charge as well. Can pull it up here quick. Pin Care is EMS supplies.
Okay. And then I have one more on the last page at the top. Waste Spill Environmental Solutions for $1363.04.
So, sorry, this one was, the Pen Care was syringes and IV, so just medical equipment.
Okay.
And then That is, I believe, Alan, that is a cylinder slide. HD
Significant repair to the waste truck.
waste truck.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on the reports? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting informal reports from standing committee and staff, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are accepted. Next is the consent calendar. This consists of council minutes from February 10th and 23rd, as well as one certificate of appropriateness for 333 Watson Street. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as published?
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar as published.
I'll second.
Motion by Doug, second by Steve. Any discussion on the consent calendar? Colleen?
Under the new format, have we gone to where we never put who's present and instead we go by the vote? So we see who's present by the council by the vote? Is that just the new, because I know that was inquired about, I believe, and maybe it's just not possible.
So on the February 23rd meeting, there's a list of attendance at the beginning that will appear. So that's the first one after the last meeting, you requested that. So that's at the beginning of the meeting. So if you look on the February 23rd, there's a roll
I was looking
call.
on the 10th.
Yep, the 10th, we did not import that into
So
the
it's
meeting
moving
format.
forward.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You had made that request at the 23rd meeting.
Yeah, got it. Super, thank you, Ben.
Any further questions or discussions on the consent calendar? If there are none, all those in favor of approving the consent calendar as published, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you. All right, moving into our agenda items. First item is Ripon Parks and Recreation Department Annual Report Presentation. Ashton.
That was part of it.
Hi, everyone. This is Christine. I know, Mark, you don't know Christine, but she's our Senior Activities Director. Just wanted to make sure
He's too young.
we knew who we were. Okay. We'll have to move this microphone when you come up here, Christine. Okay, so 2025 was a year of steady growth for our Parks and Recreation Department. Across our programs and parks, we focused on creating opportunities for people of all ages to stay active, connect with one another, and enjoy the community. From kids and families to older adults, our goal is to enhance health, well-being, and quality of life through meaningful experiences. Through strong partnerships and thoughtful planning, we continue building spaces and programs that bring people together, and that focus on progress, partnership, and impact really defined the year. So for our 2025 park progress, in 2025, the department advanced several key infrastructure and accessibility initiatives that strengthen the long-term quality of our parks, of our park system. Our major accomplishments include the completion of the quad project, enhancing field conditions and supporting youth athletics, installation of new site furnishings at Horner Park, improving visitor comfort and functionality, official kickoff of the Selfridge Park project, initiating long-term development and planning, installation of the city's first inclusive playground, expanding accessible play opportunities for children of all abilities, and installation of our park signage project in partnership with the Ripon Area School District. While something like the park sign project is like space-wise, it's not massive. It's such a, I don't know, I focus on this project specifically. It's such a cool project that we were able to complete with the school district to see Quinn's work out in the park and just everything that went into it, whether that be talking with Dan at Graphic Sign to figure out how to vectorize the file so the school could use it properly and so on and so forth. There was a lot of things that went into it. And overall, it's just a really cool end project. And the landscaping's not done yet underneath them. Right now, they're dirt, but that will be done this year. once the frost is gone, so. Sponsorships and collaboration, so I'll go back and forth between the two slides, but in 2025, the department strengthened community partnership and support with 33 sponsorships and donations and 50 total collaborations. These contributions helped enhance programs for all of our activities, our events. Without these, a lot of what we do can't happen. For example, the seniors lunch and learn program that's fully funded by an anonymous donor and the Webster Foundation grant. So, and so it gives seniors a free lunch as well as an educational session on whatever Christine brings to the table. And like at the Bunny Hop, for example, there's 16 organizations or businesses that participate, and without them, the event wouldn't be possible. So, with these collaborations, we're able to enhance what we do, and obviously we're a two-person department, so with these, we're able to just do so much more than with just the two of us, so. Park reservation data, reservation numbers were pretty consistent to years prior. There wasn't really any vast changes there. Obviously, it's important to note that this is just reservations. The shelters, ball diamonds, they get used outside of these obviously very regularly, but this is just reservation numbers. So 520 athletic field reservations and 62 park and facility reservations. You might see on there that Selfridge was not reservable in 2025. At that point, we didn't know when the Selfridge Park project was going to start, so I didn't want to reserve the shelter and then have it tore down. So we just didn't offer that. And then one of them, the Murray Lower Shelter, it says does not include softball usage. It gets used all the time with softball, baseball. They use the shelter for concessions and just for general usage for storage for their season. So it's used multiple months out of the year. It's just not, I can't really give a number to it, so. Budget insights. So this is a comparison between 2024 and 2025. So our park reservation and park donations, there's a steady increase of about 5%. The park donations, that just reflects trees donated, park benches, or money given for shelter improvements. Park expenditure, it went down close to 11%. That was because in 2024, there was a very large wood chip investment, I would say, into our parks, and our wood chips did not meet the safety standard. They were lacking heavily in wood chips, so we had to spend a good amount on wood chips to bring it to that safety standard in early 2024. So now after that, we just apply a nice top dressing every year, and we don't have to spend a great deal amount. So that's why there was a decrease of about 11%. The rest is back to typical maintenance, funds allocated towards park maintenance, routine upkeep, and just ongoing park maintenance. So, I almost skipped it. Programming revenue and programming donations. So you might see that the programming revenue, there was a decrease of 7%, but there was an increase of around 24% for programming donations. That was not a decrease in participation, but a shift. So in 2024, two of the programs I ran, I had to pay instructors for the programming, whereas in 2025, SSM sponsored one of those programs, which is yoga in the park and chair yoga. And then the other program, which was Intro to Pickleball, 5 volunteers actually led the program at the kindness of their heart for free. So I didn't charge in 2025 for those programs as they were donation ran. So there was a decrease in the revenue, but an increase in donations due to SSM's donation, as well as an increase in donors for senior activities specifically too. So yeah. That's it for budget insights. Okay, year in review for programming. So when it comes to youth, adult, and large-scale community offerings, while the number of programs slightly decreased, the number of participants increased by 11%. This is because I keep saying 2024, but in 2024, it was our first full year of programming for the department, and there was a lot of trial and error and trying new programs, and not all of those programs were successful. I didn't want to run a program that had 3 participants again in 2025, so I axed those programs and then introduced new programs that had way better participation. For example, Barnyard Buddies with Great and Small Farm. I did that with the library. We had 112 kids come through. So a lot bigger impact than a lot of smaller scale programming, but focusing on programs with stronger participation levels, essentially is what it was. And then for youth programming there, it's in very small font, but that does not include parent participation. I can easily track youth participation because of what we hand out to them. For like Touch a Truck, when the kids entered, they were handed a passport. So I was able to count how many passports we used, and for the bunny hop, something gets handed to the kids. So I'm very easily able to track how many kids come through, but I'm not tracking parent interaction or parent involvement. So the numbers are higher there, but that's just specifically youth numbers, because they're more geared toward youth. But yeah, that's it for my end of things. And then Christine.
Yeah, you can much slower. Hi, I'm Christine. So at the senior center, we had because of the donations that we've had, we've been able to increase some of our programming. So our number of activities that we did increased by 18%, which obviously the more activities, we have more people coming in. We had an additional 330 people added to coming into our programs and stuff like that, which is a 49% increase. We basically have about 900, almost 1,000 seniors that are utilizing our programs. Anything from the water aerobics at the college to, we actually, thanks to Ashton, figured out that we can fit 85 people for our holiday parties. We had 85 people at our holiday party. We do all kinds of things, like today we had a lunch in history, so it's about local history and that kind of thing. And the other thing that's a big increase has been our participation with volunteers. So today we put on an activity and we had about 8 people volunteering, helping set up, helping serve the food, helping check people in, helping clean up, and that kind of thing. So we've had also an increase in volunteers. So it's basically increase of donations and increase of volunteer participation has allowed us to increase all the programs that we do. So.
And I will explain a bit on there. That's too far away from my eyes, but it says check-ins at the Senior Activity Center, which is a number greater than 13,000. I know, I just can't see it. But that means that, so when someone comes into the Senior Activity Center, there's an iPad at the door. They type in their last name, press go, and then they're signed in. So 13,000 some odd people. 451. Thank you. 451.
I have new glasses.
You actually wear your glasses, that's good. Yeah, they came into the Senior Activity Center. So that's that many people coming in and out throughout the year. So it's pretty cool to see the grand scheme number. And that's just seniors specifically. That's not anyone outside of that. So, and then when it says 500 rec desk accounts created, that rec desk is our registration platform and where people reserve our shelters. So 500 new accounts were created to either for programming primarily or shelter reservations. So, and obviously over 2,600 participants in programs in 2025. So. Okay. Our focus areas for 2026, program development. This is developing programs for underserved age groups. An age group I don't hit a lot is teens. I feel like they're harder to reach. So that's something I would like to develop more on. And as on Christine's end of things, the seniors, that's 55 plus, that 55-ish age group. I don't consider them seniors, but but we don't get as many numbers in that area. So trying to provide some programs that are more geared towards that demographic to increase those numbers there. The next one is attention to detail in the parks. So recognizing that details matter, focusing on smaller improvement projects and deferred maintenance efforts that strengthen the overall park experience. So little things matter in the grand scheme of the parks. For example, DPW, the guys, they just took down the old holy wood that was on the tennis nets up at Murray Park, and they replaced it with freshly painted wood for tennis players to hit against if they're playing by themselves. So little things like that, replacing just worn materials or the slide at Soresco Park that's getting replaced soon. Stuff like that that is small deferred maintenance but makes a big difference in just the whole park appearance in itself. Alan and our park lead and I sat down at the beginning of the year to just discuss what in 2026 we want to hit that's not regular maintenance that we typically do throughout the parks. So just whether that be a random chunk of concrete that used to be a sand pit, so removing that concrete border as it's just grass there now. Things like that that we don't typically hit on outside of mowing, weed whacking, that fun stuff. So those small impacts make a big difference in just the overall appearance of the parks for our community. Marketing, last year Adam wanted us to strengthen our marketing across departments, and while we started to do that, just broadening it more to get more participants into our programming, so people know what we're doing in our department, just overall strengthening that, and then building partnerships that strengthen. So obviously, as I said earlier, sponsorships and collaborations are a huge part of what we do, and it helps us grow and enhance facility enhancements, programs, or events. So just growing that more throughout the year to then further improve all around. Okay. Well, those are the measurable outcomes for 2025. I also want to take a moment to reflect more broadly on the role Parks and Recreation plays in our community and on the progress that has taken place over the past 3 years. 3 years ago, the city established its first full-time Parks and Recreation Director position. Since then, we've been working to build a department that strengthens our park system, expands recreational opportunities, and supports the many ways residents use these spaces every day. In that time, we've worked to move from simply maintaining our parks to thoughtfully planning for their future. That has meant building partnerships, identifying community needs, improving accessibility, and investing in projects that make our parks more welcoming and usable for everyone. It's been a process of laying a strong foundation for what Parks and Recreation can become in Ripon. As I look back on this past year, and really the past several years, I'm incredibly proud of the role our department continues to play in our community. Parks are often thought of as a green space or playgrounds, but they are so much more than that. They are gathering places, they are memory-making spaces, they are where community happens. Throughout this year, our parks hosted small weddings, bridal showers, first birthday parties, baby showers, and celebrations of life. Families chose our facilities and green spaces for some of their most meaningful moments. They're also where parents and grandparents sit in lawn chairs at the ball diamonds cheering as their child hits their first baseball. A moment that feels huge to that family and becomes a memory they cherish for years. That speaks to the trust and value our community places in these spaces. Beyond organized events, parks quietly serve individuals every single day. There was a Ripon College student who regularly visited Murray Park and sat on the swing behind the Senior Activity Center overlooking the park when she was having a difficult day. That swing became a place of calm and perspective for her. That's something you won't see in an annual report, but it's one of the many small ways our parks serve the community. Our trails take on new meanings for residents beginning health journeys. For some, that first mile represents determination, healing, or a fresh start. Safe, accessible outdoor spaces provide opportunities for physical health, but also for mental clarity and emotional well-being. In 2025, we continued investing in improvements that strengthen that impact. Accessibility enhancements, trail development, shelter upgrades, and park enhancements are not just cosmetic improvements. They're about ensuring that our spaces are welcoming, safe, and usable for residents of all ages and abilities now and into the future. Parks and Recreation contributes to youth development, senior engagement, family connection, and community pride. It supports wellness, it encourages togetherness, it offers both energy and stillness depending on what you need that day. Recreation brings life to a community. It creates joy, excitement, shared experiences, but it also provides comfort, healing, and belonging. As we look ahead, our goal remains simple, to continue building a Parks and Recreation department that reflects who we are as a community, inclusive, active, connected, and forward-thinking. The progress made the last 3 years reflects not just projects completed or programs implemented, but people served, and I'm grateful to continue this work alongside you. That's it.
I would like to thank both of you for all of your work, and as we attract and try to house new residents of Ripon, this is a very vital amenity. People, I'm nothing against Chief Wellner, but people sometimes don't interact with the police. But we have good schools and we have this amenity is absolutely fabulous. And when I remember I'm a senior, I do participate in things. I tend to forget, but it's fabulous. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Julie?
I'll just add, Christine Ashton, thank you for leading, as you mentioned, all ages and stages, for leading such great programs. I also thank you for putting together such a sound report to help it come to life, everything that you've done, because I try to follow on social media, and obviously it's a privilege to serve on the Parks and Rec committee, but to see all that you've done and all the ideas I know that you have planned for this next year, keep up the great work.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ashton.
Appreciate you coming. All right. Moving on to our next item, which is the Ripon Police Department Therapy Canine Program. We have a couple from the police department here, if you have any questions. Otherwise, you have in your packet the staff report, as well as the program policy sheet. Ellen.
I would like to move that we authorize the Ripon Police Department Therapy Dog Program and to accept a $10,000 donation from the First We Live Foundation.
Second. We have a motion by Ellen and a second by John. Any discussion or questions? Steve?
What kind of dog are they getting for this? Is it a little dog or is it a horse? What?
Well, yeah. A golden doodle is a big
Oh, okay.
35 to 40 pounds.
Okay.
Almost.
Well, I was just looking at kids and thinking, it's not a lap dog.
No.
Yes.
Correct.
All right, that was my question. Thank you.
So where you can stay. First of all, as someone who has worked in the school district and continues to work in the school district, I cannot wait to see how this program will have such a positive impact in the school students as well as in the community in your work. And so I commend you for bringing this forward to our community and talking to people in the community. They're also grateful to be able to have this. You and I talked. I did see, no one has contacted me negatively. To be clear, none of my constituents, but I do follow social media, and a comment I did see was to the question that Steve had just brought up, what type of a dog? And I think, because people will probably be watching, I think it's worth noting that you had discussed that you were looking at a reputable kennel. There is a reason why you presented last time, but just to state again, the place that you are looking at getting the dog from, the owner, I believe, already has these therapy dogs in Hilbert School District, correct?
Correct.
So I guess just stating again, and to the people that could be watching, there is research being done as to why you are going with this type of breed as well as this, maybe specifically this kennel, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And so the kennel on Golden Pond has a dog currently in the Hillbert School District. And in talking about a golden doodle, right, I think it's important to note that the kennel knows the bloodlines. They know.
You need to.
I'm sorry. The kennel knows the bloodlines and the temperaments and the health lines. I have been in constant conversation with the kennel about taking notes on each dog and letting me know their temperaments, you know, and so like I think it's really important that they've been really receptive to that communication. As far as doodles, when we talk about golden doodles, they have intelligence, obedience, loving qualities that make really good dogs, and also the importance of the hypoallergenic. You know, they don't shed as much as other breeds and are really friendly to people that might have allergies towards dogs.
And to that point, I know people have said, well, it's not truly hypoallergenic, but the point is when they state that, it is more hypoallergenic than other breeds, correct?
Correct, yes.
And then I will just add by saying, again, I'm also really grateful to the First We Live Foundation. This is also a foundation that is near and dear to my heart, and I want to publicly thank them for stepping up in this meaningful way. And for people that are saying, well, how can a puppy necessarily, it's going to take some time to get training. Again, this is where the First We Live Foundation is stepping up so that taxpayer money is not being put into this initial stages.
Correct.
Doug? Yeah, I have a question. And I think it was in here, but when we talked about it, but I'm sorry, I can't find it. What was the total cost of the outright purchase of the dog going to be?
It is, oh gosh, I don't have my notes with me. About, I think it had $1,800 on there.
To purchase the dog?
Correct.
And the $10,000 was to help purchase and then care for the dog for the first year, or?
Correct, for the first year for costs like kennels at the school, at the police department, the FLSA, the vet, food, things like that.
Okay, but those aren't all going to be reoccurring. I mean, the food obviously will, the vet care, but the kennels and stuff will probably not be reoccurring.
Correct, most reoccurring, sorry.
One second.
Oh, the most, you have that up there. Yeah. Okay, thank you. 1,800. I put $2,000, but I know.
Okay.
So that's the first year, and then if you scroll down. Sorry, Adam.
I got it.
So reoccurring costs, right, are going to be that ongoing training, which is very minimal. The therapy dog certification is a one-time cost. So really it's going to be the FLSA, the food, the vet care, and the grooming. So ultimately, after year 1 and 2, it's about $3,800.
Okay, and we're looking for donations probably to cover that.
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Jolene?
I do also like that it says here that each year annually, the chief of police, a therapy canine handler, which would I guess be you, right? Super. And a representative from the Ripon Area School District will meet annually to evaluate the program effectiveness, funding, operation needs, etc. And then also, perhaps it's assumed in this because this is the police are funded under the city council. This is also something that we would be reviewing annually as well. The city council, in that's part of our normal, when we review the departments in general too, right? I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, under the program evaluation, would the city council is also a part of that, correct?
I think the police department does an annual report. You can certainly add a layer to the annual report that talks about this program. I think simply that would be how we would manage it, but you know, in terms of if there's a need for additional dollars, that would come to the council, but beyond that, it would just be that annual report for the department.
Right, and I assume that would be part of it.
Correct.
Super.
Yeah. Remember the council dictates budget,
Right.
then I would dictate operational policies. So it would be incorporated, we'll probably add a section because we're expanding our canine programs with this. We'd probably be expanding our yearly report to you, but because remember, this is going to be a donated function, you're probably not going to have oversight on any of that because we're not asking you for money for this program, right? So,
Well, theoretically, it'll be donated moving forward, but as of right now, we don't know about future years. So we would be putting money towards it, correct?
well,
Theoretically, we don't
I'm
know.
anticipating that we'll be able to fund it
I hope so too.
from, yep, and that's what we've done with the other canine program, is that there hasn't been, much city tax dollars used to fund that. That's primarily used for a donation-based program. So I anticipate that this is going to be the same type of program.
Good.
Okay.
Any further questions?
Are we getting the dog soon, or is it the next litter, or?
Well, I can tell you that if it would be approved, there is a dog that would be ready to go on April 10th.
You know me, and I love dogs. So.
Any further questions or discussion?
Can you do a meet and greet with the council?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out in the policy here, the training and certification, because you will also be working with the canine. It's a pair. You'll be working together. That the canine certification and training and your certifications and training go hand in hand. And I really like that ongoing, staying on top of kind of the current understanding and what we're finding out as research shows, and we understand the best way to utilize these tools or where, they may not be as strong, but I really like that in the policy as well.
Thank you.
Anyone else? There is no more discussion. All those in favor of approving the motion to establish the Ripon Police Department Therapy Dog Program and accept a $10,000 donation from First We Live Foundation to support initial program startup, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you. All right, next item is the 2026 sidewalk repair proposal. Ella.
Good evening. As you know, every year we work on improving the sidewalks. We methodically work through the community. This year, $50,000 was budgeted for that. I've reached out again to Safe Step LLC to provide a proposal. I have reached out to other companies to gauge interest. I can tell you, contacted and left messages, emails with 3 other companies, and I did not get a return response. So I am asking the council to approve Safe Step's proposal based on their inch-foot rate and with a recognition that in the area that we are focusing on, that we will keep the work performed to max out at $50,000. What I do with Safe Step is I establish a artificial $40,000 cap, so then I can evaluate where we stand as far as how much work will be grinding of sidewalk versus how much will be remove and replace, so that it gives me a cushion to work with, knowing that I have to yet bid out the remove and replace. So that's the purpose of that. Plus, invariably, what will happen is during the course since last year through the time that we actually start performing the work, I will receive complaints about trip hazards elsewhere in the community, and occasionally we have owners calling asking to be included in the program that are outside of the area of focus. So I think I had 3 of those last year. One of them was they may as well just replaced 100% of their sidewalk, and it was about 90% of it. And when I called him and told him what the bill was going to be, he told me, I know it was going to be that big. He goes, it needs to be done. So this is something that I think the community is starting to understand and embrace, so.
I'm pretty sure we've covered this in previous years, but is there a cost to the homeowner to have this safe step done?
This is a 50/50 cost share. 50% is the home property owner's responsibility, 50% is the general fund's responsibility.
Okay, but this is a lot cheaper than regular sidewalk replacement.
The saw cutting is much less expensive than remove and replace.
Okay, thank you.
I move that we approve the proposal from Safe Step LLC with a cost not to exceed $50,000.
I'll second that.
A motion by Ellen, second by Doug. Jolene?
I like that we've identified as a city the different priority areas, so that we have a plan, and so that our city will be covered. I think it's almost like a 50-year plan, isn't it? But
I haven't sat down to figure it out, but
but we have a plan and we're moving forward. So, but for those that call in, I have a feeling that people don't realize they can call in, per se, but is it still the same 50/50? Or if you're in the priority area and you're not in the priority, I mean, is it always just 50/50? Do we have to, is it okay to go out and tell our constituents, hey, if you have an issue, call in, or is that going to cause an issue with kind of the areas that you've prioritized?
my fear would be is that if we project this to the entire community to call in if you want your sidewalk done, that we would have a hard time keeping it within the budget. So while I won't deny if anybody calls it in, I don't want to be put in a position of saying, we'll take care of you, but not you.
Yeah.
It would have to be almost as a first come, first served basis, and then only if there are monies available. So.
I think I would recommend to the community to look at the area that we're focusing on, and if you're maybe adjacent to those areas where, as the crew is working and already there and doing work, then we can schedule or we can evaluate whether it's cost effective and time effective to be able to go and service that community member that has made a request to the department.
Dave, then Jolene.
So we're going to spend $40,000 with this company, which I believe is what we did last year, right?
Yeah, and actually, last year, the remove and replacement came in much higher than what we spent with Safe Step. Safe Step, I think, came in at less than $20,000, but because of the amount of remove and replace, we still ended up at $50,000, give or take. There was some work that we added from the parks that I took out of the parks budget. There was some others that were 100% funded by the property owner because it was work associated with sewer lateral replacements, things like that.
Yeah.
And then even in the area of focus, I look at what has been identified for remove and replacement or even other things to determine whether or not any of it is due to neglect or abuses the property owner may have been placed on it. For example, I did come across some where I can tell that a truck drove across it because the tracks were still there.
Right. Yeah.
Or there was one where I could tell that they had removed a large tree because the turf had not fully restored, and the points where the outriggers of the truck were placed on the concrete sidewalk were self-evident. So.
You're happy with the work, though, that they
Yes,
did?
yeah.
We're definitely getting our money's worth using this company.
I like the program that they do. They do the survey as part of this. It saves me a lot of time. This is probably, from a labor standpoint for me, probably 2 weeks worth of work to go out there, do the measuring, and then only to ask them come in and give me a bid for everything I've identified. This way, they're doing the survey and developing a cost for what they're going to do right away.
Okay, all right, thanks.
There is someone from the community who wants to note how will they be communicated to when their sidewalk, I mean, it's right now in in our meeting, where the priority area is. But if there's someone that wants to do their own sidewalk, how are they informed that this is now happening? And two, I guess it should be noted that if it's not up to our, how it should be, then they're still going to get charged for.
Is the question, how do we communicate that they've been identified as having sidewalk that needs attention?
Yeah, for an individual that maybe wants to fix it on their own.
So in the letter that we send out, we tell them the survey's been done, what's been identified, what the cost is to them, and then we let them know that if they would prefer to self-perform or make alternate arrangements, they need to let us know, and we establish a deadline with the caveat that we will work with the deadline if cause is demonstrated.
Right.
Any more questions or comments? Alan?
Thank you.
So, all those in favor of accepting Safe Step Repairs proposal in the amount not to exceed $50,000, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Our next item is sanitary sewer repair proposal. This is for sewer repair on Mapes Drive and Pacific Street.
Good evening, everybody. For the last 2 years, we've done some annual televising inspections of the sanitary sewer. We've identified several locations where we have heavy I&I, it's inflow and infiltration, coming into the sanitary sewer. So I went ahead and got some proposals from Aqualus and Speedy Clean, two companies that we use often and are very qualified to do these repairs. They gave me proposals, however, a little different. Speedy Clean gave me several proposals. Originally, I inquired about 6 repairs on Pacific Street and 4 repairs on Mapes Drive, and asking for a CIPP, which is a lining that they put into the sewer to repair broken sewers. Aqualus came back and gave me a much lower cost to grout the Mapes Drive. And I inquired a little further on that to see if that would be an adequate repair, which it is. So we decided to get a few more quotes to get even more repairs done. The final totals for Speedy Clean was $41,790 to do the repairs on Pacific Street and 4 repairs on Mapes. And with the added repairs from Aqualus, it comes to $25,650. So there were 6, 7, 8, 9, I should have counted them before, 9 repairs on Mapes and 6 repairs on Pacific Street. So again, that totals $25,000, $25,650. So I'm asking for a approval for Aqualus to do the repairs on Mapes and Pacific Street.
I move we award the sanitary sewer repair work to Aqualus in the amount of $25,650 based upon their grouting recommendation and cost savings. I'd like to note that this is about $19,000 under budget.
I'll second.
Thank you for that, Matt.
I have a motion by Ellen, second by Mark. Ellen?
I'd also like to note for the people at home that what we're doing, we do annually to address infrastructure issues. Infrastructure works beyond roads. It is our sewer system, it is our water system, it is our sidewalks. So this is an annual occurrence, and want to thank our DPW and water folks for doing such a good job.
John?
Could you just quickly tell me how the groundwater gets into the sanitary sewer?
Well, there's groundwater, obviously, that is around the sewer. So if the sewer is tight and there's no cracks or no leaky joints, it won't leak in. But when there are cracks, and typically these are mostly areas right where the joints are. So when the sewer is connected and they're put together, through the years, it kind of moves. And they separate a little bit, and that's where it leaks in. So we grout them or can do the lining in order to stop that from happening. Now, down on Pacific Street, we actually have cracks. And so that's where the lining comes in, because that stabilizes the sewer. So when there's cracks and broken pieces out, the lining will keep that all together. And so that'll last till we maybe get ready to take that whole sewer out. But that will buy us some time. That'll buy us some time, so.
Katie, are most of these sewer lines cast iron?
No, these are clay.
Mostly clay?
Yeah, now, we have a variety of different kinds of sewer, PVC and clay and.
But clay is delicate.
Yeah, and clay is very old and it's broken. And so specifically down on Pacific Street, and some of these leaks are pretty big. So I did kind of make a note before I came, and I was like, Mape Street, there's one leak that's 8 to 10 gallons a minute. It's pouring in, and that equates to about 4 million gallons a year. And that's going in, this is clean water going into the wastewater plant.
Which
that
is
we have
just
to treat.
It's extra volume that the wastewater plant has to treat.
And then on Pacific Street, this is going into a lift station. So the lift station's filling up, especially when it's raining, and then we have guys that have to go out there and take care of that. So.
It's like a whole garden hose.
Do you recall the warranty for Oculus? I know Speedy Queen mentions 5 years.
Yep.
And truth be told, you can get it done almost twice with the other one for the same cost.
It's 1 year for the grouting and 5 years for the lining. But even though they only warranty it for 1 year, it should last 20 to 30 years.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor of awarding the contract to Oculus in the amount of $25,650, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Next up is sanitary sewer jetting televising proposals.
Good evening again. And I have the same two companies again. I went to them for proposals for our annual jetting and cleaning. Every year we do a quarter of the city every year, roughly a quarter of the city every year. This year it equates to 56,000 linear feet. These companies will come in and they'll clean first. They'll go in and they'll clean all the sewers in that area, which I sent along maps for which they will be doing the area in the Matoman area this year. So we requested the televising and cleaning for 56,000 feet, and also I asked them to give me a quote on doing extra inspections of the manholes down Matoman Street, because there's possibly going to be some work down Matoman in some years to come. So they came back with proposals for Speedy Clean was $47,320 versus Oculus for $44,800. Again, they're equally qualified companies, and they will do basically the same job for those amounts of money, so.
It seems like we're kind of bouncing back and forth year to year.
They do. They sharpen their pencils each year.
Dave.
I'll make a motion to approve Oculus for $44,800.
I'll second that.
Motion by David, I got Steve on the second. All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of awarding this contract to Aquilus in the amount of $44,800, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Katie. All right, next up is the 2026 roadway improvement bids and notice of award. Adam?
So in your packet, there is a notice of award and a summary of the bids received for the 2026 roadway improvement projects. So you have my staff report there. These projects go back to when the city adopted the motor vehicle registration fee or the wheel tax. We dedicated those funds as dollars to do roadway maintenance and infrastructure improvements. So we went through the process, identified the capital improvement plan, authorized those projects to be bid out, which for 2026 would be Tabert Street and Hall Street. So Tabert from Washington to Eureka, and then Hall from Stanton to Douglas. So these were the priority projects. These are not full reconstructs. The city is still doing another project, Houston Street with East Seward will be fully reconstructed. That project is being designed out and will be bid and likely here in April with an LRIP grant. So this is in addition to that reconstruct, more of a mill and overlay funded for what the wheel tax was intended for, right? Mill and overlay projects, adding projects that weren't on the normal reconstruction or road reconstruction capital plan. So we publicly bid these two projects and have two bidders, with the low bid being from Kartekner Brothers for $193,672.47. Generally speaking, we had hoped to, we bid out both in hopes to get one done based on the collected revenue from the wheel tax at the end of 2025 and collecting it through 2026. So we're getting to a full year. We anticipate over $150,000 to $160,000 in the fund. We have a TIF district within the range of TID 12 of the Hall Street project. So it's staff recommends that we move forward with both projects. We leverage the wheel tax dollars to do more projects with other funds and invest the full $193,000 into both of these projects and move forward with Kartekner Brothers to complete Hall and Tabert.
So, I mean, I have a question. So that's Tabert from Eureka all the way to Washington?
The full section.
All the way down, that's like, how many?
It's the full section. I would have to look how many feet it is.
That's way more than I believed that we were going to be able to do. Is that in how many, and the other part, what was that?
Yeah, Hall and, we were hoping to get one done. Based on our projections with what we could afford to do, this is more than what we had anticipated. We had hoped to do about 2 or 3 blocks. We are doing about double or triple that. I have to look at what it is, but generally, we had budgeted, both of these projects were looked at to maybe cost about $250 together,
Yeah.
$50,000, so it came in very competitive.
Okay, so, and then we're going to use some TID money for one of them.
Correct.
Okay.
To offset.
Well, this is a lot more than what I think I anticipated. I think, can't speak maybe for the rest of the council, but that's a lot more road work with that money. That's a pretty big deal, so appreciate your work on that.
Were there other bidders, or were these the only,
Northeast and Kartekner.
those were the only,
Those are the two bids.
the two bid, okay.
Yeah,
Just
and,
curious.
yeah, and we had other people interested, but generally speaking, because of this being a mill and overlay and not a full reconstruct, this makes sense. Kartekner and Northeast, this is what they do.
Right.
These are not, this is mill and overlay, not reconstruct in terms of everything. So there'll be the pavement removed, 4 inches of new asphalt put down. We'll communicate out to the property owners around these projects when they plan on being here. We could have this done very quickly compared to a full reconstruct, which can take, the whole summer, so.
If there's like cracked curbs or crooked curbs or anything like that, that's not getting fixed, correct?
No, but we generally analyzed these areas and looked at them and reviewed. Hall Street doesn't have curb and gutter. And Tabert had adequate or nice curb and gutter. It was not beat up, didn't look, in terms of other projects that would require that, that was not a requirement for the project.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion that we approve the low bid from Cartechner Brothers LLC in the amount of $193,672.47 for the 2026 roadway improvements project and authorize the execution of the notice of award for the contract.
I'll second.
Motion by Mark, second by David. Further discussion? Mark?
Just a note, we've kind of talked about this pretty much in depth, but this is, within a year of starting the vehicle registration fee, we are going to at least start the projects, and probably within 18 months, we'll have the projects done. I would kind of assume or guess, hope done the speed we can do this. So just to put a really fine point on that, we initiated something and are now completing projects within 18 months at a municipal scale, which to me is, pretty good, very good, and shows how hard our city administration is working, Department of Public Works, and their feedback and working through this. And then, of course, having relatively local contractors that are willing to bid and work with us as a city is helpful, of course, because without having contractors, we wouldn't be able to get the work done either. So.
Thank you, that's helpful. And the other piece of this is the more roads we pave and work on, we get a greater return from state government with regard to that work. So then we will be able to leverage more money in next year's budget because we're doing more roadway.
That's something I've been telling a lot of people, that this wheel tax registration fee is going to allow us down the road to get more money for transportation, road repair for Madison than if we didn't have this. And so I don't know what that amount's going to be, but surely it's going to keep us up with inflation anyway, whereas we would be losing without it.
David?
I hope we're going to put up some nice signs saying your wheel tax dollars at work. I'm going to build some of those.
That's a good idea. It is. It's a very good idea.
If you want us to put up signs.
No, I don't think you do.
But to that point, maybe there could be something on social media with our communications director.
Or in the
This is, of course, a hot topic.
You want to?
And we are putting to work what we said we would. And we're showing we're doing it.
So just to be clear, like the general transportation aid, to Ellen's point, our 2023 numbers, our average 6-year spend was about 3.1 million, and average 3-year spend was 3.8 million. Moved to 2025, our average 6-year spend was just shy of 4.1 million. So our 6-year average increased by $1 million over a 2-year period, and the 3-year average went to 5.2 million. So about a $1.3 million increase in spend on infrastructure. To the point of Ellen making, this will add to that and continue to have that average remain high. And the calculation then for general transportation aid essentially rewards you for spending more in transportation. So we continue to do these projects. We continue to see dollars come in from a state level and addressing a critical need within the community.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the bid from Cartechner Brothers LLC in the amount of $193,672.47 for the 2026 roadway improvement project and authorizing the execution of the notice of award for the contract, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you. All right. The last agenda item then is a resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of up to $566,962 for water system revenue bonds for Series 2026. Adam.
So in your packet, it's a resolution. This is the Safe Drinking Water Loan Program Fund that is funding a portion of eligible expenses in the Hamburg-Henny project. So this is the water infrastructure costs, which total about $755,950 of that project will be financed. As you can see, that this is only for $566,962 because $188,988 is considered principal forgiveness for the program, so a grant. So overall, that project, which is about a $1.7 million project, all in $1 million will be covered by CDBG, $188,000 by principal forgiveness, and then the remaining $566,000 will be a low-interest loan at 1.485% through the Safe Drinking Water Loan Program. So that's a very generous and stacking finances and programs to get that project done with grants and low interest for our residents there. So we recommend approving this. We'll close out this bond in about 2 weeks. So post this meeting, we have a ton of paperwork to do, and this is just authorizing the sale of those bonds.
So the entirety of these bonds are being sold to the Safe Drinking Water Fund? It's just going to the one place? Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
It's a federal program for the DNR. We applied for it. And the principal forgiveness side, this is the first time our community has benefited in this way, meaning getting principal forgiveness, because the state made it a priority to put extra dollars in. So we appreciate that, and generally speaking, we would not get principal forgiveness because our projects don't rate high enough. A lot of times because of income limits, that's a lot of what they base it off of. So it got down the list to us to get 20% principal forgiveness. So as long as the state continues to fund that project in that way, we'll continue to apply because it is at an interest rate and a principal forgiveness amount as good of a financing mechanism that we can find.
I move to approve the resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of up to $566,962 for the water system revenue bonds, Series 2026, and providing for other details and covenants with respect thereto, this is really a lot, and approval of related financial assistance agreement. And again, this is infrastructure.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ellen, second by Jolene. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote on the resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of up to $566,962 for water system revenue bonds, Series 2026, and providing other details and covenants with respect thereto and approval of related financial assistance agreement. Diane?
Denkert,
Yes.
Gallops,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Reimer,
Yes.
Schatzinger,
Yes.
Sorenson,
Yes.
Splitt,
Yes.
carried 7.
Thank you. All right, on to project updates and staff reports. We got a lot of people in the audience here. We'll just go around the horn here, starting with Public Works.
I think about the only update I have is that I have contacted our general contractor, let him know that the buildings that are slated for demolition, which are 4 of them, are ready for his work or his subcontractor's work starting at the end of the month. So that should kick off the start of Phase 2 then. So I would anticipate somebody will be starting early in the month of April.
John?
Alan, we had brief conversation once on the exterior of your office building, if that could be saved at all.
That has been expressed that we want to make an effort to save not only that, but then also the lettering on the garage.
Good. Thank you. That's great.
Perhaps this was a combination of different departments, but there was some work being done outside of Domino's on the roadway there by the stop and go lights.
Yes.
Any update to share with the public on what happened there? And thank you for the work.
So that was 2 Sundays ago. Was informed that we had a water main break. And because of the high traffic volume, our water operator contacted me, made me aware of it. And once I understood the enormity of it, I then consulted with Chief Wallner and with Adam about options for closing or redirecting traffic. And so we put into place I contacted a company called Storm Equipment out of Oshkosh. They put in the traffic control measures, and then we put the put the controlled intersection into a 4-way stop condition for the week. Once we identified how quickly the water main could be repaired, the fact that there was no frost in the ground, I then talked to my guys about putting together a quick game plan to do a concrete patch, and with a mix designed to achieve full strength within 3 days. And so we were able to then open up the road on Friday morning. So it shows I guess, the collaboration between different divisions, departments, and other contractors.
Sure does. Thank you. Thanks to your team and others.
I will relay that to everyone.
Thank you.
Good on. Anything for Parks and Rec and/or Senior Center?
I guess the only update I have that I didn't have on there is that our tree order, I guess, was finalized. And with the help of Alan, I now know how to order terrace trees. I got to order that for the first time. I learned about power line heights, all of that. So he was very helpful in that. But and then we're going to be planning Earth Day community planting on the 22nd of April with those trees that we ordered. So that's the only thing I had to update.
Thank you. Water?
A couple updates. I don't know if most of you know about our wet testing for the wastewater plant. We were not passing for a while. We have now since passed 6 or 7 in a row. We're into quarterlies now. We have to do 2 quarterlies, and we're done with our compliance issue for wet testing. So that's good. We're fully staffed. As of this week, we hired another water operator, so wastewater and water are both fully staffed. And so I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else. Thank you.
I forgot to ask when we were talking about it, but there was someone last year that when we did the jetting and cleaning, there was some backup in their bathroom, and we recommend people close their toilet seats where it's going to be done, right?
Yeah.
Will it be listed on our Facebook page?
Yeah, it usually is. We give them a few bits of advice, but yeah, it can happen. It can splash back a little bit, and just close the toilet seats.
Thanks again.
PD.
Usually I don't talk, but since everybody else did. And I just want to, as long as we're talking about collaboration, I want to thank Ashton for pointing out tonight that I've officially reached the age of a senior. So, just want to mention we're hiring, so taking applications for patrol officers. So if you know anybody out there that's looking, we certainly would encourage them to apply.
Chief. Sure. Diane?
No, but I did include early absentee voting. That's going to be happening, dates and times. Just prepping for the election coming up.
Adam.
So you have my report, just a couple highlights there. We're continuing to work through the Houston Street project, designing that out. We also were contacted by the state to do another SMFA, or State Municipal Financial Agreement, for a project slated for State Highway 44, so we'll bring that forward soon here. So after like not receiving any attention from the state for 30 years, we are now going to have our third or fourth SMFA to approve to do a project in the next 5 to 7 years. Zoning code update, if anybody has any questions there, we're working through that with Veerbecker. It'll go back to the Plan Commission at the April meeting, and then kind of, I think, from there, depending on how it goes, kind of move forward in its final draft to the council and set that project, complete that project. So if anybody has any questions about any of the changes that may have been proposed, certainly reach out to me. And then well 10, we continue to work with Donahue, and we're setting a kickoff meeting, so we'll get that rolling here in the coming weeks. We'll have some emergency management training coming up here as all departments with Fond du Lac County, so we appreciate Fond du Lac County for coming over, and then we'll do a tabletop, and that is all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Adam? Thank you, Adam. My only comment tonight is just in regards to the upcoming election, April 7th. This is for all local offices that are up for re-election, as well as county and, it's just local and county?
Supreme Court.
And Supreme Court. Thank you. Like I said, April 7th, and early voting, as Diane mentioned, the information's on our website. And if you are not registered to vote, come visit Diane and she'll get you registered. Or there are ways to do that online as well.
Mr. Mayor, may I follow up on that?
Absolutely.
On Wednesday, March 18th, which I think is next Wednesday, there will be a League of Women Voters voter forum for mayoral candidates, and then following that will be all candidates for city council. So everyone is invited to attend. We take questions from the audience, so if you're interested and you have a specific question for anyone running for office, please attend. Otherwise, it'll be on the Ripon YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Is that here?
Here.
Here in these chambers. Thank you.
Yeah.
What was the time again?
7.
All right, John.
Could we please remind the people of Ripon on when the due date is for dog licensing? Is it March 15th or the 31st?
I believe it's the end of March, and then they get assessed a penalty.
Right, okay. I was thinking it was the 15th, but okay, good. I got to do
If
my...
it's not, I'll verify that with you, for you, but if it's not, I will.
Okay, thank
I
you.
will put something out.
Dog and cat.
Yes, and cat.
Any other comments or future agenda items for council?
It's 31st.
I
Thank
just
you.
want to wish everyone a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day. A reminder, please do not drink and drive, and we do have a taxi service in the city, as well as other resources if you need a ride. And a congratulations to the Ripon Area School District for hiring a new principal.
Anyone else? Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
We'll make a motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Second.
A motion by Doug, second by Mark. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 8:19. Thank you.